quite as loud. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You clearly have some vested interest in one of these teams if you're watching, so I hope I can help make that more entertaining for you with all of my nonsense patter. Uh-oh. It also looks like only one of our... No, they are both started. That's good. If you have any questions or comments about the stream, please drop them into YouTube, or you can go ahead and text me. A lot of folks do. I welcome it, especially in jokes that I'm not allowed to talk about on the mic. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the action as we catch up here. Over in our A event final, Ed Simia lining up with the yellow 7 rock. Looks like Ed has hammer. Looks like they've opted to clear this this high red. I think correctly. Their gambit being that as long as they hit nose, they're probably sitting... Well, I mean, no, I take it back. They're not sitting second shot. So I guess they were worried that that Hugh was going to tap that red up. Or maybe they're trying to play for a roll. They didn't quite get the roll. So Hugh Gordon over on sheet 1 is going to be throwing the red 8 without hammer. He's talking with Barry Klein right now as vice as to whether or not they feel like that they want a hit and roll inside, or if they want a straight draw. I kind of like the attack on shot rock here. There is a bit of a jam potential here on sheet 1 in our A final. These are 8-end games. They're untimed. Here at the Plainfield Bonsqueal, we have 32 teams, which for anyone that's a curler or knows much about curling, at a 2-sheet club, 32 teams is ridiculous. But we start on Wednesday. We play from about 5. We draw times from about 5 o'clock to 10:30 starts. Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we move to an 8 a.m. start. Games go as late as 10:30 at night. While they start as late as 10:30 at night. I think people were still on the ice after midnight last night. Hugh and Barry on sheet 1 are still discussing potential other options. They briefly thought about trying to promote that red guard, but not a lot of value there. They've opted against it. I like that decision. It looks like we have finished end number 1 on sheet 2. I will openly admit I was watching sheet 1 here on the feeds. Right out of the hand, Barry's yelling, "Hurry." Makes me think this is narrow. No Hugh's throwing weight, too, so they really need to catch at least a piece of this yellow. Susan and Bill are on it. Great sweep. That's maybe the best outcome. Leaving red sitting, too. Great shot. I'm not sure if they wanted more weight on that, maybe didn't get it, or if that was the T-line weight was the call, but terrific outcome. Well thrown. Good vice call. Getting the sweepers on that immediately. They needed to be on that the whole way, and they were. And great sweep by Bill and Susan. Good team shot. Ed Simia, his vice Larry, has squatted down. They're probably going to try for the double here. If they make this double, they should be able to roll the shooter in, take 3. But if they just happen to nose here, they will take 2. Or they will take 1. I think they'll be happy with that. It's early. It's an 8-end game here in the finals. And they're probably willing to gamble. Sweepers are on it. Looks pretty nice to me. Oh, it's going to roll that red in. But you still get shot out of it. You take 1 with hammer. You're still happy. Good rock. So after 1 end in our A event final, Team Simia with yellow rocks. Yellow's up 1. Over on sheet 2, it looks like Tully was able to put up a 3-point first end. Hats off to him. A heck of a start against Team Baird. Sheet 1, I get the feeling we're going to hear the call for a classic center guard. I'll wait until that gets called. No, looks like Ed Sibia says, you know what? Let's be a little aggressive. Let's put this in the top 4. Kind of dare Hugh Gordon to see what kind of hit weight, and what kind of hit decision that he wants out of his lead in Susan. So first rock's underway. The sweepers are quite a distance away from him. Makes me think that it's hot, maybe all the way through. It does look that way. Hugh there with the counter sweep. He's going to get rid of that. So Hugh with no hammer. Let's see what he decides to do. He's going to call for the wings. I'm a big fan of that, especially in the first 2 ends, before either Skip, really starts reading the different lines on the ice, before the sweepers start figuring out the weight on a given line. I like being aggressive and putting rocks in the house. Give yourself a chance at a big end. Let's see Hugh very quickly checking his stopwatch there. Red's going to be happy if they can just put this in the house. It looks like it's all there. The sweepers are off it. Looks like a really good rock, though. Going to sit top house. Now it's going to drift to the back house a bit. That's fine. Nice shot. Well swept. Ed wastes no time calling for the hit. Does not surprise me. Over on sheet 2, it looks like Baird put his first rock as a draw under. Didn't quite get under. Red is opting with a 3-point lead not to attack it. They're going to try to shrink the rings and draw underneath from the opposite side. Sheet 1 looks like a hit attempt. That's the value of putting your rock in the wings and kind of seeing if the opponent can put everything together in the first end or two. With the hit, and sure enough, it's kind of a wonky line there on sheet 1 when you're playing back to the glass in the even ends. Rock really doesn't come back. You can barely carve it either once you're outside probably the 8-foot line. So Yellow's rock sailed through, kind of wide, and come back. But it's not going to change much because I think this red rock is also going to be through. I think that Ed's probably going to be able to get this out. Sheet 1, he does. So, let's see what Ed wants to do. I think I know Ed. Ed's going to say, let's go ahead and hit this. I see Ed and Larry on the East Coast competitive circuit a couple times a year. They will not shy away from a hit. Hit it shall be. We got some takeout weight on sheet 1. Time to attack that red rock in the rings. Out the wall side, just behind T. Over on sheet 2. Yellow's sitting too. They're not great rocks, but I'd rather be sitting than not sitting. Tully's sticking with their game of, you know what, we're going to keep just drawing behind. We're going to play to shrink the rings with our 3-point lead and sit in steal position. I like the call. Even if Tully with red rocks on sheet 2 is able to tap up the center guard here, that's also a pretty good outcome. Or if they just get a guard. So sets them up for success. A little big. Is this going to find the back Yellow? It's going to find a piece of it, but not much. No, not even. It's a bit hot. Don Baird with a bit of a counter sweep there. What does Don want to do? I know Don. Don's going to go top 4 center. Yep, that is the call. Don's got a fairly classic strategy, but you know what? He reads the ice extremely well. He knows what his players are good and bad at. If he hasn't played with somebody, he can read them faster than most. And he likes that come-around draw pretty much any time in the game. That was a bit hot here. They're going to be behind T on sheet 2, but it's still going to sit somewhere in the 12-foot. Bite of the 8. All right. think red would be well served to follow that last rock down over on sheet 2. He would love top 4, but even if they end up following it down, it would be shot. Over on sheet 1, it looks like we did get a nice clear. We've got open house. What's Hugh want to do? I like the call from Hugh. He's going to say, you know what, let's also put this in the wings, but let's put it on the other side, on a line that the opposing skip hasn't seen. So Hugh at this point probably realizes that Ed's going to attack anything that's in the rings in an open house. Again, a strategy I like. But Hugh's making a good call here to go to the other side. Something you don't want to do in curling is, I mean, in anything in life, is you don't want to keep repeating yourself when you see failure. It's good to mix the lines up. Over on sheet 2, red was successful in coming down to that back yellow. They were able to drive it out of the house. Don likes his chances asking for the same. I think whatever skip is able to throw center line top 4 on sheet 2 is probably going to come away with shot rock at the end of this. But there's a lot of upside. John Wiedemann throws this. John might have come out hot there. I saw him tuck a bit on the delivery. John Wiedemann's been throwing really well, though, all season. John was on the mic with me in the last set of finals here. So that's a little hot. They're laying off a bit. He's going to find the back red just fine. Very nice shot. Well, guess what red's going to do in sheet 2? The same thing. They're going to ask for top 4, but if they happen to be a little hot and they come down to that yellow in the back 8, they're going to be just happy. A little inside roll wouldn't hurt either team that keeps trying this repeated shot, but we keep seeing makes, as you would expect from two teams in the finals. Red Rock is underway on sheet 2. So we keep seeing the same general strategy, the same set of makes. This looks a touch. Yeah, it looks fine. Might be a jam. That's fine. But the shooter does roll all the way out as a backbiter, which leaves yellow sitting 3. I think Don is probably going to ask for top 4 again. Yep. So even if Don ended up with a guard here, he's in a pretty good position. Even a top house biter will be fine. Over on sheet 1, we've got 2 rocks in the back of the house, 1 for each team. Will was probably going to try to pick the red rock out. But even if it jams, they're probably not too upset with it. A lot of weight from Larry. Definitely a hit. Sweepers are on it, trying to hold it straight. Looks pretty good. Looks like a full jam. That's fine, though. So they're not quite as lined up as they were, so yeah, I think Hugh is going to ask for a hit. Flop to tee. Tough part for Hugh here is he might even be better off flopping open, but you can't flop open given that you would jam on your back red. So he's got to opt for the roll inside. And the problem with rolling inside an open house behind tee is just that, you know, gives your opponent the ability to freeze on top of you. And basically guarantee a shrunken rings for your hammer. Barry Klein throwing the red 6 on sheet 1. I heard bumper called out as the weight. Looks like a bit more than bumper. Jam looks all day. But you did get rid of the yellow. That's fine. Ed wastes no time. He's going to hunt that. They're probably happy if they nose. Over on sheet 2, we've got a red rock coming in. It's a little big, and it gets the wrong side of a glance. But it does sit for second shot. I think Don Baird is going to get rid of that red in the back house. And that way he's sitting at least 3, maybe 4 if the shooter goes his way. I think what he's talking about with John Wiedemann right now is, would we rather close things off? Because we are sitting 2, and we're down by 3. We have the hammer. So we could always throw our hammer to an open, zone either on this side or the other side. Don's going to walk on down, get ready to throw his yellow rock. Over on sheet 1, we've got Ed Simia. He's throwing the yellow 7 as the steel team, and he probably just wants to nose this rock. Looks like he's going to roll out, but very acceptable result. Basically saying to the other skip, I'll let you take 1 on me with your hammer, or I'll force you to blank. Hugh Gordon's going to skate down on sheet 1. He's going to throw his red 7, red hammer, into an open house. I'm guessing from the fact that Barry's right hand is open that maybe this is a draw to the wall side, somewhere in the house. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of mixing it up again. Over on sheet 2, Don Baird is set with his great hat, by the way. Loved it. Loved the hat the whole way, man.
My wife made it.
Really? That's so good. Oh, it's beautiful. Just talking to Vince from his previous game. He said his wife made the little Mario hat on top of the hat that he wore. Good job by both Mark Mooney and Vince at Skip. They both wore hats, I think, the entire weekend. It's hard to do. I run pretty hot when I curl, so the idea of any kind of costume, let alone a hat, is rough. It would be a rough go for me. But a lot of fun for the camera. Open house over on sheet 1. Ed Simi's going to try to force, probably, so he's going to want the rock to be as deep in the rings as he could. We're on sheet 2. Looks like Tully is debating, what do we want to do with our red 8? Yellow is sitting 2. Tully's probably debating, do I try to attack the half-buried, 8-foot-high rock? Or do I try to maybe run up my center guard? Pretty tough decision, I would say. The problem with if you attack the yellow rock sitting second on sheet 2, is that he would most likely jam on something and leave yellow sitting 2. Maybe. Or just totally flash and then not help his cause at all. I kind of like this call on trying to bump up one of his 2 red guards. That at least pushes, hopefully for their sake, pushes a red into some kind of contact with one of the yellows in the house. Over in sheet 1, Ed Simi was successful. Did leave the rock as just a biter, but it's a threat to Hugh Gordon, basically saying like, sure, you can go ahead and hit this, but you gotta make sure you get a lot of contact, and you gotta send my rock either to the non-wall side or at least 11 feet back in the other direction. He's gonna make this shot. He's gonna roll off. We're gonna see a blank. Nice shot, Hugh Gordon. And our A event final, as you might expect, we're going to see a rare blank end. 2 of our top teams this weekend as we enter the third end of 8. I started to mention earlier that our Bonsqueal with 32 teams, we play a condensed 6-end game. You don't see that very often in curling, but it's a timed 6-end game. Sometimes it only ends up being 5 ends if the time clock is tight. Oh, red got the worst of all worlds on sheet 2. They went to tap up either of the red guards. It cut or was narrow, and they ended up with the result of tapping yellow in for a 3rd shot. So now Don Baird has the option of, if he comes down to that red rock in the back 8, and taps that out at nose, he would take 5. You got to go for that, and that's what he's going to do. So let's watch over on sheet 2 with the hammer. Not sure if that looked a little wide or not to me on the release. lot of weird fisheye camera angles. It was pretty wide. Oh, they're going to get plenty of this, though. Great shot. Oh, okay. So they didn't change it, but Don does take 3. The clapping that you hear behind me is the awards for our B and D event. So both of our games here, the A and the C event finals on both sheets, depending on which one you're watching. You can hear my voice both ways. Both these games are getting set up in the third as we await vices from both teams to hang our scores. There's a blank on sheet 1. Don Baird was able to take 3 and tie the game over on sheet 2. Sheet 1, they're going to attack that red rock. Probably going to spill out. They do. It's okay, though. Get rid of it. Let's see what Hugh Gordon wants to do. Hugh's got the hammer. He's going to not address that first yellow. He's going to put this out on the wings. Susan wastes no time with delivery. She was ready in the hack, as you always hope that your lead will be. Thank you, Ed Veltre, for the acknowledgement of my alternate in today's morning game. Ed's always got a great celebratory speech for the award ceremonies. Today is no different. Nice draw here in sheet 1. It's a little big. It's not going to bury. It's still going to sit. So sheet 1, Hugh Gordon sees that rock in the back of the house and asks Bill Grzybowski to go ahead and maybe draw down to it. Maybe we'll bump it out. We'll see. They wait too long on this. I think they might have. I think they're going to be on this yellow. Oh, they got it by. Oh, that looks really great. I take it back. Great shot. Well swept. It's probably about a third buried from the right hack, if I had to guess. It's going to, on sheet 1, try to chip this red out. He'll probably lose the shooter. The shooter might just roll to the 12 foot, in which case he would still be sitting 3. Over on sheet 2, we've got Trevor for Team Baird. I think they're drawn behind, if I know Don Baird's general calls. Sheet 1, this rock is underweight. It's by the guard. Oh, it just tips the guard enough. I think Team Mooney is receiving their award right now for their B event win. I think he's going to have a joke that involves me on this one. I'm going to take an ear cup off and listen. Bill Grzybowski in our A event game on sheet 1. Gentle release. Just to cover up. Nice shot, Bill. Let's see what Ed wants to do here. I think he realizes, yeah, he's going to go ahead and just clear this now rather than wait for more rocks. He knows Larry can throw a good hit for him. Over on sheet 2, debatable biter at the top of the house. Larry's trying to clear guards on sheet 1. Barry's probably trying to draw under on sheet 2. Great guard clear from Larry. So what does Hugh want to do here? Is Hugh going to guard? It looks that way. Your options really there are guard or, you know, attack that top yellow. But you have to make sure you're on the correct side of it, and you really want to leave a guard, so a higher percentage call is what Hugh called, which is to place a guard rather than bet the guard's going to come off a hit and roll. Barry Klein with the red 5. Hugh says the line is good. I was wondering if that was a touch wide. Again, camera angles and such. On sheet 2, Tully is trying to draw down on top of Shot Rock, but that did sit out a little wide. That's going to go through the house. I feel like Don Baird's going to close the door on this. He's trying to steal. We're still not really sure if on sheet 2 that high red or that high yellow is in the house or not. I'm gonna bet on yes, but they'll if it ends this way, they'll measure it. A biter here for yellow on sheet 2 would be great. Over on sheet 1, Ed's going to try to clear the new guard that was well set by Team Gordon. Let's see the guard over on sheet 2. They were asking for a guard, but this is going to be back house. Well, it's better there in the back 4 foot than it would have been right at T-line or even above, setting up a double. Don't want that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Carl owner. Carl offered me his pin here for the Porkade. Thanks, Carl. That's really awesome. Fantastic. That'll look really cool on my bulletin board. That's very thoughtful. Thank you, Carl owner. And thank you, Carl, for running our annual karaoke night, which was moved to Saturday in the prime position. Carl's got a heck of a great karaoke setup with, I'm going to guess, at least 5,000 songs at this point. I know he updates it on occasion. Not a perfect shot from red on sheet 2 there, but a good shot to shrink the rings. Although it is red hammer, so I think Don Baird's going to be happy closing this off. Again, thanks, Carl. That was really thoughtful. I appreciate it. I'll take a picture of this wonderful pin that we've got for our Porkade Bonsqueal. Sorry we didn't chat more, Matt. Nice game, buddy. Thanks for coming out. Saying hi to Matt Maylock from Philly, who's in one of our finals here. I always love hanging out with Matt and getting much of a chance to chat with him this week. Great shot on sheet 2 from Team Baird. They're going to go ahead and close off their steel rock that's sitting dead center of the pin, leaving Tully no choice but to try to run this back. Tully's risk here is that, if they accidentally run this back into the red, they're in some trouble. So the better shot would just be a full-on guard clear. They would love it if they somehow picked the rock off the pin. They have to flip this rock either way. Well thrown rock from the vice. She's got a great slide. They're going to be able to move this guard away. Oh, they are going to find a piece of the rock in the pin. Oh, it's going to... Oh, wow, the promoted yellow is still going to sit under cover. That's an outcome that neither skip anticipated, I'm sure. I think Don, knowing that he's trying to steal, he's just probably going to close this up again and basically say to red, like, you know, hey, you might have hammer, but I'm not going to let you have a path to the pin. Don can get really aggressive here and, like, freeze on top, like, center line side of that red. But I think I know Don at this point well enough after playing with him a ton on Tuesday nights. He's going to take the high percentage of just covering this path. He's not going to be aggressive enough to come all the way to the red. And I think given the fact that he was able to tie this up, the momentum kind of shifted in his direction. Now he's set up to steal at least one. It's a good call. Tully's hoping they have at least a look at the button at this after this rock comes to rest. They're not going to have much else to go on otherwise. Sheet one, we've got a red rock trying to get by this guard. Can the sweepers get it by? No, it's going to tip off. If they stay with it, they might get on the house. Not quite. So over on sheet one, the steel team yellow is sitting too. Oh, I can put you on. I'm going to say hello to Mark Zempel, the club president.
Look at that. Who's
that?
John Gephardt doing the narrating.
Oh, you know it.
What game you what game you going?
Oh,
Both?
we're casting both here, Mark.
Really?
Yeah. Have a seat if you'd like.
No, I'm going to watch from the window.
Well, you can't watch the window. You sound like a genius. you have to look at these screens with me.
Oh,
otherwise you're going to have like a 6-second
delayed?
advantage. Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean, you know what? You've done such a good job at club president for us this year, Mark, that if you want to look like a genius out there, I'm going to let you roll with it. Where they're given delays, if you look at the glass, you get about a 5 or 6 second jump.
Well, it looks like sheet one's
actually
pretty
not
close.
Even 5, like two seconds.
Sheet one's on, okay.
Yeah, we've got a hammer coming in on sheet one. Or no, we've got the yellow 8. And yellow's looking to just close the house up because they're already looking to steal 2. A biter's great. I mean, this is terrific for yellow.
It's coming in.
Yeah.
It's coming in.
Great rock. On sheet 1, I apologize. And sheet 2, I mean...
Sheet 2 has a lot of stones in play up front.
Is sheet 2 trying to run this yellow up? That is a risky shot. I mean, they don't have much else to go on, but it's risky. I mean, they still do have one more rock. So actually, no, I take this back. They're not trying to run it. They're just trying to clear the guard.
Little down weight.
Got a little
control. Sweepers are off it right now.
Yeah,
sweepers are off it. Oh, here they go.
They're
hitting hard.
Too. They're just going to clear it. Great shot. If I know Don Baird, he's going to do the same thing. High percentage shot. He's just going to guard. He's going to take anything in that right 4-foot path just to prevent a path to the pin.
And if we go back to sheet 1 here, it looks like Hugh Gordon's going for the draw down the right side.
Big rock for Hugh. I mean, he's drawing hammer, open-ish house against 3. You can see here if you want to see houses.
Nope, I see.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
And Hugh's on his delivery right now.
Huge rock. I mean, this is what I like to call a 4-point rock, Mark.
And the sweepers are on it hard. They're going hard.
Uh-oh. The fact that Barry's coming out is a little sketchy.
No,
Barry's coming back.
Wait, here he comes. Up, they're off it. They're off it. It looks pretty good. It just needs to curl. I think they're on it.
Oh, you got to go all the way.
They're on it.
They're going real hard, but it's still short.
Go hard.
It's short.
They should have stayed on it all the way.
Can they at least cut this down?
They cut it down to
2.
2. Ooh.
Still, it could have been 3. But if they would have stayed on that for about 3 more broom strokes, it would have only been 1. So, after 3 ends in our A event final over on sheet 1, the second end was a blank.
Okay.
I'll let Mark know. It looks like we're going to have a 3-0 score going into our 4th end of our 8-end final, untimed.
And coming back to sheet 2 here.
Sheet 2 is the hammer. Don's been blocking this path to the pin pretty well. I think leaving red no choice, but I mean, I think the draw's there though.
Yeah, you could draw it, and even if you come back down to your red and
Yeah.
kind of bounce in, you might score. It's gonna be tough.
That seems like the most likely outcome, right? Is playing off your own red.
Yep.
Sheet one's gonna set up early, and probably. Actually, no. Knowing Eddie, he might actually be calling this in. I'm not sure. Exciting action on sheet two though, as they skate down.
And going back to sheet one, they're trying to throw a guard, but it looks like it's a little heavy, and it looks like it's going to go through the house.
Oh yeah. I was wondering if Ed might have called this in on purpose, but
no.
Either way, it's too
I
heavy.
think it was guard.
Ed had called in the second end, up only by one. He had gone aggressive and called in the top four.
Okay, here's the delivery on sheet two.
Mark, how do you feel? Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Big hammer on sheet two. It's got to be perfect. And again, like Mark said, I mean, you got to play off of your own red here. That looks hot and wide to me, but I don't know.
Sweepers are on it. Sheet two, sweepers are on it. Looks a little light.
Yeah.
Looks a little light.
I heard light.
Now they're off.
Oh.
Here it comes. It's starting to cut. And they're back on it. I just think it's a little wide.
It is.
I think it's a little wide.
It's not going to work. So one yellow on sheet. Oh, wait. Am I too early? No.
Yeah.
That was closer than I thought, though. All right, so steal for yellow over on sheet two in our C event final for Team Baird after three.
And the score is now 4-3. Team Baird. And going back to sheet one here, we have...
probably draw under, if I had to guess. Might be a center guard, though.
It's going to be in the house.
Staying off.
Probably going to be top four-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe T-line. A little back.
That's close, though. Good call.
Yep. Yeah, maybe get a little hit and roll. Yeah, that's what he was calling. Hack weight.
I'm loving the curling house hat by one of Larry's front-end players. It's great on the top-down view, seeing the whole bullseye house.
And here comes on sheet one, here comes the red rock. I think it's a little wide. I think it's going to miss. Maybe catch a piece.
But it's not going to move much.
Not enough.
If anything, it's kind of a negative result. I'm always so careful with making sure I don't kiss my opponent in.
Yep. Not a happy face there on Mr. Gordon.
No.
He's like not happy with that shot. Well, it's still early.
It is, and Ed's going to call for the center line guard here. I'm sure if Ed drifted into a biter, he'd be just as happy.
However, going back to sheet two, we have for Team Baird, we have a nice touch in the center line guard.
Yeah, that's what you expect out of a final. It's a good rock to play around. I hear a 4 and a 5 being called out on sheet one, which makes me think that the initial guard request is going to be a touch deep, but could be in a great spot. No, that's going to be a nice two guard. Well swept.
Yeah, I think you could come down onto that on sheet one. Just a nice heavy draw. You just got to call the right line and just...
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you got
to deliver the perfect
You
weight.
either commit fully to clearing that center yellow, or you call the drawdown now.
Let's see. We got Chili Willie here, a.k.a. Bill Grabowski.
Yeah, Bill's been playing well all year.
Yep.
Oh,
Hughes calling him off. Hughes calling him off. Barry wants a sweep, but Hughes calling him off. Now he tells him to go hard.
Okay.
Here they go. Little bit of miscommunication there on sheet one, I think.
Yeah.
I think Barry thought it was light and Hugh had him off. I think Hugh wanted to curl, but I think that front end got to communicate better with the skip and let them know that it's light. But
I was just going to ask what you were doing sheet one, but Ed is usually not one to dilly-dally. He's got his shot possibilities in mind before the opposing rock even comes to rest, and he's going to hit this.
Yep.
Which I like. I mean,
which is the right call.
Yeah.
Maybe he rolls under a little bit if it crosses over.
Yeah, and I mean the jam is 6 feet away, so low percentage that you're going to jam.
And here comes the rock on sheet one, and they're sweeping hard. trying to hold the line. Might be over curling a little
They
bit.
might be on that center yellow. Then they're on it
Maybe
early.
not.
I don't know.
Maybe not. They were sweeping
No,
early.
they're off. Great
And
shot.
I think
Really
you're going to
nice.
get the hit and roll. A little bit of
nice.
roll.
Well, what do you do if you're Hugh Gordon here?
I still think you got to take out that top yellow.
I think so too.
Right? Maybe you're lucky enough to get the double.
I think you got to do it now too. I mean, you could try to draw down from the other side. It
No,
doesn't come away from the
no.
wall that much though.
No,
I think you have to clear this.
Yeah. Play it tight, even if you get the other yellow at the top.
Yeah.
But you have to get rid of that yellow up at the front. I mean, the other yellow is behind the tee line, so you can always draw down to that other yellow.
Right.
But I think you got to.
But it's hard to draw down to the
True.
shot rock right now on that line. That line is very finicky. Coming back to the glass on sheet 2 here, or sheet 1.
Okay, here's Bill Grabowski with the takeout. A little bit down weight. Maybe he hits and rolls over to the corner, sticks around.
Might have just been a draw under. Probably a classic.
Hughes calling
Don.
him off. Hughes calling him off. Let's see.
Good shot.
Yep, he got it. Just a little bit too thin.
Nice shot by Bill in sheet 1.
And
I think Ed's going to call for the same shot.
Yep.
Maybe like something in the top 12.
Yep,
a
same shot.
3-4. A biter's great, but you don't have to commit to it. I think controlling that zone is more important.
Going back to sheet 2 here, Team Baird has a couple of nice guards up there in the front. Number 3 guards. He has one sitting at the top of the 12, but it's a little bit exposed. But if they go after it, I don't think they could stick around. They might get rid of the yellow, but I don't think they stick around just based on the angle. So it looks like they're going to try to clear the front.
Yeah. I mean, I like the commitment to clearing the front with your 3rd, 4th, and 5th rock.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams will wait till their 6th rock, and that's usually too late. So let's see if on sheet 2, let's see if Red sticks to the plan. Let's see if they keep clearing guards until everything's variable. Over on sheet 1, Larry's holding his hand up. He's a little worried that's a little deep. That is deeper than they wanted, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think the double's very easy.
No, we're on sheet 1?
On sheet 1.
Nah, sheet 1, well, again, that's a pretty easy double under normal.
Yeah.
But
on April ice,
yeah.
maybe not so much.
Yeah.
So Hugh is actually asking for a hit and roll under here
Yep.
on sheet 1 in our A event final.
You know what? It's not a bad call because if it hangs out a little bit, maybe you go for the double. If not, if it cuts a little bit, then you go for the hit and roll under.
The only problem with the roll under is if you roll too far, you're going to prevent yourself from drawing down to that shot rock eventually.
That is true also. But that shot rock, looks like it's pretty
He's
covered.
going to get nose. Good and bad. Ooh, if they're lucky if they can catch, or they wouldn't have gone out of the house. All right, good shot. Nice result from Barry there.
Okay, going back to sheet 2 here. It looks like they're going to try to hit the yellow that's exposed at the top of the 8-foot there.
Probably roll under if they can get it.
I don't think they get a roll under. I mean,
It's a hard one.
It's a tight roll under.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the delivery. Looks a little bit wide. Don't know if it's going to come back enough. It might just clip a little piece of it. Nope, here it comes. Now it's cutting. Let's see what we got here.
Pretty good. Okay, let's consider bout nose. A little roll outside. But now you're giving Don a chance of a much easier roll.
Yep.
Again, Don's trying to steal here. He's got a rock in the house. He's got a really good center guard that Susan put up early.
So going back to sheet 1 here, Hugh is now calling for the draw down to the button.
Okay.
He has a little bit of back in, so if it over curls and the sweepers sweep it, he can sit on that back one. He's calling a tight line. I think the line is pretty good.
The question is, I think Barry's asking if they want to clear it.
Okay.
Hugh says draw again. And over on sheet 2,
And Team Baird just cleared
missed
that.
there.
Yeah, they just cleared out that front red, but they rolled out. So, but they're still sitting top 12. They have one behind the center line guard, top 12. So.
Barry Klein with the red 6 on sheet 1. This is a draw down to the button.
Okay, so they're sweeping hard on sheet 1 here. Looks like they have the line. They just got to get it all the way there. It looks
Too
a
light?
little light. Looks a little light. Yeah, I don't know why they came off it unless he was trying
I
to get
think he
more
was worried
curl
they were
out of
gonna
it.
touch the yellow, but even then, Yeah, you weren't going to get a good result of that rock either way. That gives Ed a lot of freedom because you can't do anything useful with that red now. So Ed, if he wanted to, could just cover the other side.
Yep. Okay.
I would kind of like going top 12 on the opposite side. What do you think?
On sheet 1?
Yeah. I wouldn't even call this. Why call it?
Yeah, because the angle, even if he comes down and hits
Yeah.
the red, the angle's not there. You know, okay, the best he can get out of it is he rolls a little bit under top 12. I mean, the yellow goes away, but he's still not sitting shot. Maybe he opens it up a little bit for the draw path, but
yeah, I'm really surprised that on our A event final here that they're not coming to the other side and leaving something top 12.
Okay, going back to sheet 2 here, we got John Wiedemann. He's delivering now for a draw.
Let's get draw under.
Yeah, tight.
Very
Don's
tight.
calling tight line.
Yeah.
So got to watch this line. I played on the sheet earlier, and it does cut right around the hog line sometimes. So, but it looks pretty good. He might get a little tap up. He might get actually a little split here. He might actually get a split.
That looks really good.
Okay.
It's gonna blow to open, but
I think
no,
it's
I
open.
take it back.
I think it's
not great.
open for a hit. Or draw down too. They can come down and draw and just sit
Now
on
sheet
it.
1 again. I was wondering why they didn't come to top 12 on the opposite side, but I think they're somehow worried that red rock is promotable. I just don't see that it's there.
No.
Not to get to 4 foot, not easily.
Looking from the glass, the angle just,
Yeah.
like I said, isn't there to do really much.
Well, that's interesting too because they did guard it, but they almost made the make a little bit easier from a gun perspective for red. So what is Hugh going to do here? What would you do in sheet 1, Mark?
Well, you could. I think if you, again, looking at the monitor, maybe if you blast that yellow to a point, you'd have to hit it nose. Maybe the red goes in under cover. Maybe you get the yellow, the top yellow to scoot out, and you get the back yellow to go out. I don't know.
I don't think you can hit. I don't see how you go yellow red onto shot rock. I don't think the angle's there.
Oh, I don't think you're getting to shot rock.
I don't think.
All I'm saying is if you
might get
if you
full
play
floor.
that, you open up the path.
Right.
That's all.
And you might get full floor out of your red if it's perfect.
Yep.
I don't know what he was looking at here though.
Talk.
I probably would not try to run this yellow up. Again, I don't know why either team is not as worried about the open side.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's there.
Yeah, you just have to touch full 4 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just waiting on sheet 2, Don, to go back down. He's going to deliver his first stone. So they are sitting 2 right now. Don Baird is sitting 2.
So he's probably going to guard.
Guard, or maybe top of the house, maybe top of the 12 foot.
Sit
3.
Yeah.
Sit 3. You're blocking both draw paths to the button there.
I think Barry has advocated for a double guard clear on the 2 tight yellow guards. You are going to leave your shooter though, but yeah, I don't know what this gets you. I guess it's more value on sheet 1 to clear than try to draw under. But if you're going to draw under with your hammer, maybe you try it twice.
Yep. Okay, so here comes Don Baird's delivery on sheet 2. Looks like just a nice, easy draw. It might be top 12. Sweepers are off it. Might be.
They don't want to be
top
deep
8,
here.
top 12, top 8. It's sliding a little bit. I would take it in, Kevin. Just make sure you're biting.
Yeah, make sure it's biting.
Yeah, you get
Make sure it's
3
biting,
out of
guys.
it. I think it's a biter.
Confident sweep.
Look at that. Look at that.
And a very tempting, maybe port for red.
Yep. Okay.
But if I'm yellow, I'm happy
Let's
to
go
give
back
it
to
you.
sheet 1 here. Here comes the hit.
He was trying this double guard clear.
I don't know. This is a tough one. Oh.
Doesn't change much.
Nope.
So if you're yellow, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think you just
I
put
think
up that
he's still
same
scared
guard.
of that red.
I think you put up that same guard.
I don't know why he's scared of that red, though. It's never gonna be...
However, if you're yellow, this is your last shot, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you draw something on the other
Right.
side, top 12?
Exactly.
Then what does red do? What does you do, right?
That seems like the move.
I guess yellow doesn't think they can draw down to that back yellow. Red can draw down to that back yellow. So
Yeah, they're really worried about this high red. And these might be the lines that they're seeing, and our camera angles are imperfect based on the human eye that they're seeing on the field of play. But yeah, over on sheet 1, with the yellow 8 rock, they're going to go ahead and try to put that card back.
Okay, so here comes yellow on sheet 1.
A lot of discussion on sheet 2 right now, what they want to do. That they were looking at that tempting port that I'd mentioned. You know, it is about 1 rock wide. Maybe that's about rock and a half wide.
Okay, so they put up the guard on sheet 1. I just think
that's what they like.
Hugh now just has to try to draw and get full 4 foot on the...
But I think Hugh was going to do that no matter what. So that's what I don't get. Maybe the only thought that Yellow had on sheet 1 is that...
No, he's looking at...
Hugh might throw weight? Oh, this would be
No, I don't know what he's looking at, Hugh.
This looks...
This is not a...
Oh, this looks like a good way to give up 3.
You're right. You're right.
I'm thrilled if I'm yellow on sheet 1 that you're going to touch my rock.
I just think you need to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to draw. You need to at least be, at the minimum,
full
you have
8.
to be at least full 8 to cut them down to 1. If you get the late draw, the late cut at the end, maybe you can get the full 4.
You can't allow that yellow rock in the 12 foot to count when you can see that much 12 foot with your hammer.
Okay, here comes sheet 2. Here comes the red rock.
They're playing the port on sheet 2.
And
it's pretty good.
It's going to be kicking. Oh, and it's going to knock that yellow.
It was already in. It was already in, but
okay.
Now Don's going to really.
Oh, I think Don is putting the same shot up. I think he's.
Now you can afford to throw a 2 guard.
Shot. Yep. However, if he throws that same shot and he's biting, he's sitting 4.
Right, big threat.
Yep.
I mean, if Don can protect that lane at all over top of the shot rocks, Red can't feasibly really draw around.
Yep. So here comes Don's shot. Sweepers are kind of cleaning for the most part. They're not
with
really.
A quick throw.
They're on it now. Okay, here they come. I think they need to stay on it.
Anything in the 4 foot's great.
They're off. They're off. They're on.
Anything in the 4 foot.
I think you guys got to go hard. Yep. Come on, guys.
They don't want to lose it. They really want to be on.
Get the biter. Get the biter.
Oh, no, you got to be on there. Oh, gosh. I'm with you, Mark. You
I know, right? You might as well bite. If you're gonna,
you might as well.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. It's not going to change the guard path at all.
Here comes Hughes' last shot, I think, right? And it looks like it's wide and long.
Is it going to sit 8 foot though?
No.
Is it going to sit better?
No. I think he gives up 2. Unfortunately.
Counter by Larry.
And I heard a broom slam out there.
So after 4 ends on our A event final, it looks like it is going to be Team Simia up by. Oh, I don't think this is close.
Yeah, Barry, come on, this isn't even close.
Barry maybe hasn't seen one yet.
I'm 40 feet away, and I can tell it's not close.
Our pins are pretty good here. I have definitely played at clubs where the pin is like an inch off, and I've used that to my advantage with with throwing down the occasional measure challenge. But yeah, that wasn't particularly close. So great for Team Simia at the halfway point. They're up 5-0 over in an A event final, and over in our C event final.
They're still contemplating. I think they're going to try to throw a draw, maybe down, maybe try to cut them down.
I mean, the path is there for a cut down.
But I don't think they get to it. I don't think they...
No, I don't think
maybe,
they shot.
Maybe.
This is crazy to me. I don't think I'd come this way. Well... No, I mean, the upside of coming to this naked side here is that you're not going to accidentally tip yellow in for 4, right?
That's true. That's true. However, I'm looking at the ice right now.
Me too. And
you come up at that other side. I think it's going to be a little slow. Doesn't look like there's a lot of sweeping being done on that side.
I mean, you have backing on this side, and you've seen all these draws. So there you go.
But this is all weight and line. You know, this is a very touchy shot. You know, especially with our ice, unfortunately, not curling a whole lot.
Brian, I'm going to take that compliment. Thank you from 45 minutes ago. And Evo, I agree.
Evo,
the broom slam.
Evo's watching these finals.
Yeah, the Evo says that the broom slam like a badass clinic seems to be a success based on Hugh's slam.
And I see a corner guard going up by Hugh on sheet 1 there. Okay, here comes the red. Final stone on sheet 2.
Yeah, big rock on
and it looks a little light, man. Their sweepers are on it. I think this is
light,
real
it's
light. This is real light.
Oh, any contact on the yellow if it's light.
I don't think it's... Nah, I don't know. They might...
No, it's fine.
No, it's cutting a little bit.
Are they by?
No, just barely.
It's enough to cut them down, though.
To 2.
That's fine, though. It's a 2-point rock.
Not bad. Not bad. So... Okay, Mr. Gerhardt, I'm signing off. I'm going to be leaving soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody who's watching the
I'm
stream.
going to say thank you again
very
for your
much.
presidency. It's been fantastic.
Yes,
thank you,
yes. Thank you, John. Okay.
And congratulations this weekend on your C event win.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
a
you.
joy.
Fourth event win. Fourth event win.
Yes,
yes. Thank you. Okay.
Take care, Mark. Thanks, buddy. I love the walk-ups. So over on sheet one, it looks like, again, they were trying to set a corner guard or maybe draw a biter out to the wings with their first rock here for red. Didn't quite work. Yellow said, you know what? We're up by 5. We're at the halfway point. We've seen a blank. I'm just going to throw a threat here. He was going to try to use this corner guard that he set, which is admirable. A little short. As we've discussed before, I am not at all a fan. I am an anti-fan of corner guards. Come fight me, bro, etc. I think a lot of curlers watch professional curling on TV where they set the corner guard and they actually use the corner guard and all that works. But to anyone willing to listen to me in person or on the microphone, and if you haven't muted your speakers, you're already listening. I hate corner guards at the league of play level because you're basically saying I have hammer. The Classic Open is the steel team sets a center guard, usually successfully. You then say, okay, I have hammer, let's set a corner guard. I'm going to say about it. At least a third of the time, maybe half the time, the center guard ends up not being thrown correctly, either narrow or light, at which point you block some section of your forefoot. It's academic that the steel team with their second rock is going to throw another guard. Now what do you have? Well, you're the hammer team. 3 rocks have been thrown, and your forefoot is blocked by 3 different rocks. So now the hammer team has basically agreed to this situation where they're going to burn most, if not all, of their first 7 rocks, or rocks 2 through 7, I should say. Clearing rocks that they put up themselves, and they agreed to. Great shot on sheet 1 in our final here. Bill Grzypowski with the run back double. Love it. On sheet 2, we had a close flash. So on sheet 2, Tully is opting to split the house. I like this call. Leave plenty of room for hammer, but also put your rocks out in the wings. I mean, putting the first rock out in the wing there seemed to work because Team Baird went after it, but flashed. So we're going to hope for more of the same. Tully being down by 3. A 6-3 game after 4 ends. They're going to try to put this rock in the wings. They would love for it to be of the same vertical level as their first rock. But the sweepers being on it as hard as they are makes me think that it's light. They're off of it. It's a nice rock. Yeah, great shot. And those are so far apart. You're not making any kind of weird, insane peel weight skinny double. Not with our rocks, not on this sheet, not with Bonsqueal level players. I mean, it'll be a hard shot for pros too on sheet 2. Somehow get a skinny double. Don's going to elect to hit the shot rock right now. He's already seen 1 rock in this direction. Got a second. Trevor with the release. Sweepers might have wanted to stay on that, but it was a ton of speed, so you're really not going to preserve too much line there. Nice hit by Trevor to knock that out, especially when you're the team that's already up. Over on sheet 1, Hugh Gordon is getting a lot of guards, but nothing in the house. Now, what does Simia want to do? He has a 5-point lead. So he's debating, do I want to... I know my opponent needs a big end, but my opponent's also left a lot of guards. So what a lot of skips do right now is draw under. Simia's trying to think, 4 layers of chess in advance. And he says, I don't want you to have something in the center to sit behind. The best shot from Larry here would be to hit this... hit about a third of it, and then roll somewhere into the wings, which he's going to get. How's the roll going to look? He's going to roll open. It's going to stay on. It's going to spin back. Not quite. But great throw. And a good result. Let's see what he wants to do. He likes the top house kind of biter area. I like this call. You don't want to be deep, because if you're deep, then, if you know he's on, it's trouble. You let your opponent freeze on top of you if you accidentally let this red on sheet 1 go deep. And then your rings are shrunk, and you know you need points. So, good call by Hugh. I like the top house here. It needs to be on, though. It doesn't need to be, but I'd really like it to be on, considering it's a vice rock. We're on sheet 2. We've got a red biter. Don is choosing not to address it, being up by 3, and he's going to try to, I think, bury one behind this guard. The long red guard there. Sweepers are off. Makes me think this rock has a lot on it. Looks like a pretty decent rock from Trevor here. I think it's going to at least sit in the back 8. Oh, no, I'm not even. Top 4. Well, it's sitting open. Great weight. Tully says, well, I have to attack it. I would love for it to roll underneath cover here on sheet 2. But I can guarantee you one thing. If somehow Tully flashes here, Don Baird is going to spend every last rock basically setting center guards. But 2 teams in the finals. That means they made their shots a lot this weekend. Uh-oh. I heard an early woe call, but I think by a sweeper. So maybe this is fine. Nice shot. They're not going to get the roll they want, but they might get a roll to their side. Is he going to stick around? Does. Good result from red. What does Don want to do here? Don's going to hit the shot rock and see if he can roll underneath into the 8-foot. I like this call. Take one of your opponent's rocks off the board when your opponent has hammer. If you spill, that's fine. If he knows, that's fine. If you get a great roll, that's terrific. But contact over everything here. Just gonna skinny. Oh. It's tough. It's hard there. That was a tough call to make as the rock was coming in over on sheet 2, because, you really want to try to hold the line, and it looked like the sweepers were holding it. Over on sheet 1, they didn't want this to go too deep, and it did. Gives yellow a chance to roll under cover after contact here. So sheet 1 or A event final, Team Simia is up 5-0 after 4 ends. Ed's going to hit this and maybe knows. I mean, he could roll underneath after the wings, but when you have a 5-point lead, as long as you leave this rock somewhere in the house counting, you're probably pretty happy. Interesting raise over on sheet 2 behind cover. I'm not sure if that was the call, but a beautiful raise and result. So I'm going to make the assumption that that was the call. Don Baird's team is going to go for this hit and roll under again. Over on sheet 1, it looks like we're going to get the hit. It's going to fall out. That's totally fine. When you're up by 5, you don't have the hammer. Take your opponent's stone out, you're happy. Sheet 2 looks pretty good. Not much of a roll, so they're gonna sit second shot. What does red want to do here? Does red want to attack? Probably. I mean, red just saw that line for the hit. They can call it themselves. So their skip saw the release. I imagine that Tully did. Tully would also love the roll underneath on sheet 2, but even if he knows, not the worst. Would like to stick around here, though. Vice rock on sheet 2. The red 6 is underway. Plenty of weight. Definitely a hit. I hear brooms. No, brooms are off. Okay. It's a bit of a roll outside, but the important part is they made contact here. Don's going to probably call the same thing. I guess the roll is a little harder now. So Don's debating, I'm up by 3. Do I want to rock in the house? Because I only have 2 rocks left. Would I want to try to make that same hit? I think I would go for the hit, just because you've seen this line at least 3 times now, if not 4. Don's taking more ice on sheet 2. This is the way to go. You've seen this line so much that you probably dialed it in. And you're up by 3, so just taking the opponent rock off is nice, even if you spill or, Of course, Don's going to want the roll, too. Everybody wants a roll. Over on our A event final, got Hugh Gordon's red 7 coming in. He's going to try to draw behind the pile there. It's a little hot. Is this going to... No, they're going to get this through. So if you're yellow right now on sheet 1, I think I'm drawing right where Larry put his broom. It's not the worst either. I kind of like the draw under, though. The only problem with trying to go up top is, like, you have to be a biter. If you're all the way in the 12 foot, you kind of make Hugh's shot a little easier with hammer. And you could be short here too. We don't know if that yellow rock on sheet 1 is in the rings or not. Kind of looks like it might be. Again, these are fisheye cameras, so it's possible that's actually in. Don Baird with the yellow 7. They're going for the hit. They love the roll over on sheet 2. I think we're there. Not sure what sheet that was for. So Ed doesn't want to be deep here, but I think he's going to be. Once he's full in the rings, he makes Hugh's shot easier. But Hugh still has to make it. And again, Ed doesn't mind giving up 1. This is a force, essentially. I mean, it's a force if Red's not sure if that yellow rock on the out in the 12 foot is on, you have to stay in. And I think that being down, you have to take a point here. I don't think the blank's that valuable. Over on sheet 2, looks like Don did get the hit. He rolled off. But the big part is that they got the hit. They're up 3, so good play. What do you do if you're red on sheet 2 right now? I think, yeah, they're going to draw underneath their 12 foot. I like that. Our hammer's away on sheet 1. Again, Hugh really needs to nose this. He just needs to stick around. He needs to drive it off. It's a good shot. All right, we're red. Good rock. Good force by Ed there. Good force is probably better than the blank if you're Ed at this point. So probably good that his rock went in. So in our A event final, that was the 5th end wrapping up. Red took 1 with hammer on the force. And yellow is up with a 4-point lead after 5 minutes as we come back to the glass. Over on sheet 2, we've got the red 7 underway from the hammer team. They're trying to draw underneath. They're not going to get enough curl. And they're taking this back. Not sure taking it back helped him per se. Don's probably going to call this. I'd be curious if Don didn't call the same shot here. Wrong handle, I heard said. Uh-oh. What's going to happen on sheet 2 here? They got to... yeah, Don said wrong handle. I don't think they're just going to flash. So this is going to set this game wide open here on sheet 2, as Red has the opportunity to go for a skips quattro. Pretty much open house. We'll take a break here, as both of our ends are probably... Well, I'll see what happens on sheet 2. Red's got an open house, and they've got some catchers. And they're playing to the side with the catchers, so that's the way to go. If Evo ever broom slams, something's wrong. And is there a broom slam Hall of Fame? Good seeing you, Foxy. You too. Had a lot of fun commentating your games, Fox. Rob Young points out that not yet. There's not quite a broom slam Hall of Fame, but you get 2 points if you slam and your broom head goes flying. It's only 1 point if the pad flies off. I think Rob and I have definitely both seen that, where the pad's flown off. Sheet 2, they just need any piece of the house. Looks pretty good to me. I don't think any counter shooting is going to change that. Okay. Great hammer. Good opportunity for Tully. They take full advantage. Score 4 with hammer. They take a 1 point lead after 5. Take that break that I mentioned. I'll be right back. And we're back. It's kind of funny taking the headset off for a moment, realizing all these other people are around me as I talk to myself on the mic. But I think one thing about curling is it draws a lot of different types. I mean, it draws the same mostly type of person. Very volunteer-centric, upbeat, trustworthy, good sports. But a subset of that is folks that enjoy looking at every bit of minutia and trying to solve for high and low percentage outcomes. It's definitely my headspace. So people have asked me before, do you have fun when when there's no one else on the mic? And I have fun either way. I can certainly patter and blather about my own thought process. I hope it's more fun than just hearing open ice. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Probably reset these live chats. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a little warm in here. We got some windows open. Nice thing. Bill Grosbowski with a rock. Coming to rest in our A event final on sheet 1. Maybe a touch deeper than they wanted it, but it's going to go ahead and attack. After a brief chat with Hugh Gordon there. Probably a joke. Good call from Ed here. Why let your opponent sit there for a possible tap up when you're up by 4? It's your hammer. You're in the 6th. Drill that out of there. Over on sheet 2, after, again, a really very nice shot on sheet 1. Just as you would expect. Over on sheet 2, again, Red just had the opportunity to take 4. And they did. Putting themselves in the lead after 5 minutes. Yellow's bounced back, and they've had a great draw under cover, just behind the tee line. Look at the rock that's... Ooh, this is a nice shot on sheet 2. Really good shot on sheet 2. Love that. Able to find the shot rock behind cover. He threw about back 12 weight. Bump the yellow back a bit. Don's going to say, let's follow that down. Imagine. Yep. Draw to here. Tap the red's okay, he says. fun thing about having head cups on is you can't really hear what other people are saying around me. I wonder if I'm driving them crazy by constant talking. But I do have the microphone fairly close to my mouth, so I don't know how far this carries or not. The draw down to it on sheet 2 was not successful and actually bumped their opponent in for third shot, not quite second, but it left the guard. I like this call on sheet 2. They're sitting 1 and 3, so they're going to guard the center. This is Steel team. On sheet 1, they're probably just clearing this this high red, if I had to guess. Looks like the weight being thrown. It's enough to clear it. I heard Larry say, I came out so hot, I think I shoved it. Still made the shot, though. Sheet 2, they're trying to throw a guard on the non-shot rock side of the, I guess the non-wall side. Looks like a great rock. Not a perfect guard, but one I would call good enough if you're already sitting first and third trying to steal. Don's going to stick with the plan. He's going to see if he can draw around that 2 guard down to the shot rock. I think that shot's there if you throw it well. Trevor's going to give it a go from sheet 2. I hear a lot of go hard and hurry over on our A event final. Sweepers are on it. Do tap it on for shot rock. I think Ed's going to attack it. Great sweep. Good rock on sheet 2. They did actually come around and find shot rock to sit second shot. They didn't quite bump it back far enough, but that was kind of a tall order in the first place. I think just having a rock there at all is decent. And it's going to be a really short set of rings, though, for the red hammer. Or for the red hammer. For the yellow hammer. Yeah, I kept looking at that and thinking, what I just said can't be right. And that's why. So on sheet 2, I think they're going to try to set a guard up so that Don can't just kick his rock into the button. Pretty great shot. Yeah, nice shot on sheet 2 by Red. Basically taking away the promote. Or at least the easy promote. I mean, Don could always opt to, run his 2 yellow guard on sheet 2 all the way, into the 4 foot, but that's a lot of distance. I mean, it's probably, 10 feet? That's a tall order. That would probably be a fun fact to memorize, like the possible success contact points with each foot that you add. It's kind of like in the NFL, right? You're lined up for a field goal, and you can hit a 25-yard field goal over 90% of the time, but every time you add 5 yards to it, the target gets smaller and smaller. There's probably something with that, probability-wise, in curling. Then again, you're listening to a commentator who's been playing for 12 years, and my goal for the whole year was to try to work on putting more than a half to 1 1/4 rotations on my rocks. Never really found time. It's challenging at our 2-sheet club. Our ice is pretty much always in use. But I was happy to at least get a couple. I got 8 practice sessions in between mid-January and early April as far as progressive slides. Someday I'd like to be one of those, out-of-the-womb Canadians that has a great slide where they pretty much put any kind of object flat on the ice and barely use it for balance. But right now I'm an over-the-shoulder deliverer, which is a huge crutch. It really lets you put a lot of weight on it, but there's downsides to that I'd like to get away from. If you have a favorite drill for putting more rotations on your rock without being on the ice to try to practice it, I welcome your comments and suggestions. It's probably just a lot of weird shadow boxing where I'm just flicking my wrist just out while sitting on the couch or a chair or out for a walk. I'd say that would be looked at as crazy, but I mean, we're curlers. There's only about 25,000 of us in the U.S. to begin with. Decent rock over on sheet 2. I think they were just hoping to guard up so they could protect their one for a steal. And they succeed. I'm trying to think what Don would do here. Over on sheet 2, they're on their yellow 6. I think he has to clear something. Don's walking up for the clear. Sheet 1, Hugh Gordon is hoping to probably throw a downweight hit across the face of this yellow that's a sitting shot rock and maybe roll underneath his own shot. See Susan and Bill talking strategy from the front end side there. Oh, very tough outcome on sheet 2. They, instead of clearing guard, they accidentally raised it. And it moved about 10 feet, picked their own yellow rock off. Actually doesn't change who's sitting shot. I mean, yellow was sitting second, third, now they're just sitting second. But it does make the yellow situation a little harder. So we're on sheet 2. They're looking at it with red stones for Tully, and they're thinking, what is yellow going to do right now? And I think they're correct. Yellow's either going to draw the open port on the 4-foot line, or yellow's going to try to tap up. I kind of agree with where the skip's room is right now. Just put a rock there somewhere in that line just outside the left 4-foot, and the 4-foot. You kind of block both. You block the path and you block the promote. Nice shot from Hugh on sheet 1. Doesn't get the roll under, but he does get rid of the yellow rock, those sitting shot. Again, pretty academic for Ed. I think Ed's going to come down and try the same thing, you know. Kind of a downweight hit across the face. They're not taking much ice, though. Look at Larry's broom on sheet 1. They're taking inside the edge of the target rock. That has been a tough line the last couple months here at Plainfield. I take it back, actually. I mean, this line, you're close enough to the 4-foot line that it plays fairly normally. But if you get out to like the 8-foot on this wall side coming to the glass, any kind of sweep, you can sweep to hold it out there or sweep to carve it. It's just going to make it fall. Hammer's underway on sheet 1. It's only going to find the high red, though. It's going to be a steal 1. So good for Hugh in that he cuts the lead down. Gives its opponent the hammer going into the 7th end. Still a tough spot, though. I mean, Hugh's really got a double steal at this point. I mean, if he lets Ed take one more, then he's entering the last end down 5, and that's not really acceptable from an odds perspective. So I think Hugh has to probably play a junk game and try to steal the whole way out. Ed's been skipping this game a long time. And I've played against Larry a bunch too. I feel like they both are aware of that reality. That Hugh's going to play a junk game, and they're probably going to fight it with pro hits. The most important thing for Hugh here is that both of Susan's lead rocks stay out of the house. Oh, don't sweep that. Hope that it dies. Hope that it dies. Hope that it dies. Whew. Well, we're going to see the yellow 8 as Don Baird walks down to throw it over on sheet 2. Remember that promote or open path that Red was trying to block? And Red successfully blocked the open draw, but they, by nature of blocking one, had to leave the other open. Which gives Don a chance to promote his rock in the top 12 on sheet 2. I think that's the call. On sheet 1, They missed the call. They don't look particularly surprised that was hot. I think what Ed probably yelled down to his lead was, back house or through. Just don't leave a guard. He was going to ask for another guard here. Heard a call for sweep. Don Baird. Again, the yellow 7. He's going to be going for the promote on this 12-foot yellow rock. Great shot! What a shot! It's the event winning skip Ed Veltri asking for some cowbell after Don's promote there. Let me see if I get Ed Veltri's opinion on that last shot. Yeah, I'm going to welcome Ed Veltri on there. What do you think of Don's last shot there?
It was incredible. I mean, he did a very nice job on his release.
Yeah.
Good in turn with that stick. And initially, I thought he pitched it wide, but it is getting curly late in the game.
Yeah.
And kicked it up. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, I mean, Red was trying to prevent that. They were thinking either block the port or block the promote, and they can only pick one. But it's hard to bet against that, as
right.
the opposing skip and think that you're really going to make that.
And 90% of the skips behind the glass were never wrong or
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh, yeah. So what do you like here, Ed? If you're Red, it's...
You do have that in-off, but that's pretty far.
Do you basically block yellow from getting a second one and just accept
that's what
the tie?
I think you do. You take hammer.
Yeah.
And hope for the best. Just don't let him get two. So I'm thinking to...
I feel like their skip is standing out there thinking red. That sounds... Wow, that's crazy to me.
Right.
Your risk there, too, is that you just leave an open path for an easy yellow draw. I would close it.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
And wait till the next end.
Yeah. You had a throwaway in your game, right? On one situation where it was just like, why bother? Why make this worse?
Yeah, but John DeYoung said just practice the draw.
Yeah.
He put it all the way out on the outside of the 12-foot, and I said, can I have an inch in? He
Okay.
said, no.
Hey, no, you know what? I'm a big fan of the no risk.
There was nothing we could do. So.
No, and you could only make it worse. I think you were sitting 1, but they were sitting like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5.
Right.
Like, why screw with that?
On a steal?
Yeah, you take your steal.
Yeah. I want to thank you for playing with us today early in the first game.
It's my pleasure. I always enjoy playing with you, Ed. Yeah. You called a great game, and like I was saying in the previous game on the mic here, to play on a team where everybody can throw a good hit, everybody can throw all 3 shots, and you're going to get good sweeps on all those shots. It makes your job a little bit easier.
A lot.
But it lets you switch between, okay, I'll play a junk game, okay, I'll play a whole hit game. I mean, if you go up by 4, you're happy to hit the whole way through. And your opponent sets an accidental center guard, you're happy to now draw and junk it.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you called a game to our advantage. I don't think there was a call in that game that I disagreed with.
Well, thank you.
It always feels great. So, yeah.
It's always good to hear.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
And it was nice of Carl to give me his pin. I appreciate that. It'll look nice on the board.
I'll have to find another one. I think there might be one laying around for you.
That's nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks again, John.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. So Ed Simeo on sheet 1 here. He's got the lead. He's just going to clear this red guard. There might be a risk. I like this call. Hits and rolls open. Yeah, really? Oh, you should jump on the mic more often, man. I think you enjoy it. Ed Veltri saying that was the first time on the mic. He didn't seem nervous at all to me. Ed's a lot of fun. I've been playing for him over the years. Tuesday nights. Been on a couple of his teams lately. I think we won the Founders together last year. That was a lot of fun. My first time winning an A event at this club. Ed also runs a very premier event here at Plainfield Curling Club. The Bonsqueal is our end of the season event. or is our end of the season tournament. Well, wait, no, I'm wrong in both counts. It's our end of the season Bonsqueal, I'll say that. But from here on out, we do a couple of corporate outings, make a little money for the club, play a little bit of money in the coffers in case we need it. That's what I'm going for. But the last Saturday of the year is an event that's, I think, in its 9th year that Ed started. He was rooting around in the back of his car, and he found a trophy. Is that Christopher Columbus trophy? You want to jump back on? Why don't you jump back on? Tell us a little about this. I was just starting to talk about the end of the season event that you've been running for 9 years here, Ed.
Big Woody.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, that is a wooden statue.
Okay.
That was.
Is that Columbus? What is that?
We're not really sure, but
okay.
That's what I refer to it as.
Sure.
And the reason for that is before, when John Woolman was running the ice.
Yeah.
And we had the old floor in.
Yeah.
And like Columbus said, the world wasn't flat, just like John Woolman's ice.
Just like the Plainfield Lights after mid-February.
After mid-February. So
we would have 14 feet of curl sometimes.
Yes. So that's how Columbus got his name. And so he was a wonderful wooden statue.
Yeah.
That stands proud, tall, and namely dubbed Big Woody.
Yeah. So how did that come about? Was it you and some friends saw some of the pony kegs that were empty here on the last day of our meltdown? Well, we always do kids skating, and people would play around on sheet pans.
Yes. Human jousting.
Yeah. Oh, I have some videos of human jousting that, for insurance reasons, I don't have videos of human jousting.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But what we ended up doing was it was myself and Aaron Dubberly and Renee. Oh my gosh, I forget his last name. And Frank Sharp.
Yeah.
We were here just tossing kegs down the ice, and we just were playing games.
Sure.
With my aunt's passing, I was cleaning out her house, and I took this statue just to have it. And
that's fun. I didn't know this.
And we started playing. I go, we have to have a tournament.
Good.
Between the two of us. And Aaron and I came in second.
Okay.
And Frank and Renee came in first. So I said, you guys won the first Big Woody tournament.
Fantastic.
I handed them the trophy. Moving forward, Dean Roth was kind enough to put a base on it and hook us up. And so since 2013.
Yeah.
Other than COVID years.
Yeah.
Big Woody has been getting played every year at the end of the curling season. It is a two-team, 24.
It's ballooned.
48 people, 24 teams.
Yeah.
It's
fills up in like 2 days, and you have
God.
to. It's a written wait list too.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like you can even jump online and filling that.
There's
easily.
5 teams on the wait list.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is there's heckling.
Oh, it's very enthusiastic.
Oh, absolutely. We
Yeah.
bring the furniture out on the ice
That's
for
the
the
best
finals.
part. Yeah.
And there's always the hammer, which
Yes.
costs you $5, but throwing a half a barrel down the ice is a lot of fun.
What season would you say that the hammer came into play? Was it the second or third?
Second year.
Okay.
Second year, we decided that we had one laying around. We said, we're going to try this.
Yeah.
It clears the house.
Oh, yeah.
If you can get the momentum to get it going down the ice, it works.
I think the fun part, too, is all the different ways that people try to throw a keg.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can impart some spin, but you can't really impart control. And so it's such a fun sport for everyone else at the glass because it's
Yes, but you can put curl on it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of sanding the kegs this year to bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
Get
a
little
little
curl
600 grit.
Yes.
I love the rule stuff that you've come up with. It's what, 2 ends?
2 ends.
Everybody gets 4 kegs.
You're guaranteed 2 games.
Yeah.
After the first game, if you lose, you're out.
Okay.
And as we get to a breakdown through the tournament, if there's a high-low, which means there'll be 3 teams left on the winner side and 3 teams less on the teams with the 1-loss side.
Okay.
So you get a bye in the high-low if you have the best score, so you have to keep scores.
Oh, that's cool.
And then those teams come down to the finals, which is a 4-end, 5 keg per team game. And if it's a tie, an extra end.
Skips kegs.
No.
Oh, extra end. Yes, non-skip
right,
kegs.
If you're tied, it is skips kegs.
You got to drink the whole thing. Yeah.
Right, you got to drink the whole thing.
Well, I think, it's just so much fun. It's such a crowd-pleasing event.
Oh my God, it is. And it's...
and I can't believe we're almost at 10 years. I mean, you've been adding stuff to it every season, too.
Yes. Last year we had 16-ounce draft glasses along with big woody cozies.
Awesome.
There's a few new surprises.
I was going to ask
year.
if there's anything in surprise.
I'm sworn to secrecy.
That's fair. I just like the idea that there's a new one.
Woody gets upset if I divulge information. So, and you got to keep Big Woody happy.
You have to.
As long as he's polished, clean, and smiling.
Yeah. Standing proud.
Yes, standing
tall.
That's right. Firm.
Yes. Firm like the release of the keg.
Yes. Right. Well, I have to go home for dinner now.
Absolutely. Thank you for jumping back on the mic, and we look forward to next Saturday.
I'll see you at keg curling. Come on down.
Oh, yeah.
Come on down.
It'll be fun either way if you're on the ice or not.
That's right.
It's a great crowd event.
Absolutely. Second largest grossing day at the Plainfield Curling Club at the bar.
Fantastic. I love it.
All right.
Take care, Ed.
Bye.
You should jump on the mic more often, man. That was great. Back to our action on sheet 1. Decent center guard set up here for Hugh Gordon. He's trying to steal. He needs points. He's trying to think, where do I put this this red 8? I personally would love, a biter, maybe full 12 at the top. Another nice rock might be to be, I don't know, maybe 8 foot half buried. This rock needs to do double duty. It needs to primarily to block the draw path. You don't want to let Ed be able to have a free look to draw down to your back 8 to shot rock. But you're also down points, so you'd also really love to just be in the house, even if it's a biter. But if it's a biter, it's going to make Ed's open draw a little easier to cut you down to only one. Either yellow takes one, red takes one. We'll see what happens. We're on sheet 2. We've got an interesting set of guards. I think on sheet 2, they're drawing to the top 4. I heard some people say so-and-so likes it, so-and-so doesn't like it. Oh, if I'm red, I would have loved to be a little deeper on that last shot on sheet 2. Not bad. Yellow does not have a very good promote on those high guards, given the fact that the two guards are kind of locked and welded together. No, I stand corrected. Don just said tap the yellow one back T-line. Now, it does give you the angle here if you hit the one on the side with the red stones. I don't know what Rex is dancing to. I'm going to assume that Rex has some headphones in. So, sheet 1, the rock's underway. It's about the 8 foot where I mentioned. I think they would have liked that to be a touch more buried. But it does add some difficulty to Ed's shot here. It's in a pretty good spot. So if let's say Ed throws a hit on this, if he only noses or doesn't get a great roll, then he gives up 2. If Ed goes for the draw here, it's a fairly narrow path. He might end up on top of that high center red guard. I'm talking sheet 1 action. Or event final. So pretty good rock from Hugh Gordon here. And again, Ed Simia with hammer, sheet 1, against 3. He's got a good bit of the house to work with. It was like Ed's unique delivery device. I don't know the name of that brand. Rex, would you like to jump on the mic? Okay. Oh, this shot from Ed looks really good. I love this shot. Great shot, Ed. It's going to be enough. He's going to take one. Crowd likes it too. So that is going to put Team Simia up 6-2 after 7 ends. So Don Baird's going to have the hammer. Don's going to have the hammer. Down 4, though. And again, I think Ed and Larry are the type that just have so much experience with back-end and strategy clawing that it's going to be really hard for them to accidentally allow a 4. But I say that, and that probably means that they're going to be, I think, defensive. I always screw up aggressive and defensive because it's the opposite of what I always start to think of in curling. They'll probably play a hit-based game is what I mean. Sheet 2, I think Don was trying for the yellow tap up. Didn't quite get it. It's tied. So just bring you up to speed in the C event final. It's currently tied at 7 each in the 7th end. But the steel team is currently sitting 1. The yellow rock there, sitting in the back in the top 4 there. The red 6 is underway here on sheet 2. And they're trying just a straight run back on this red into the yellow shot rock. If they make it, they'll be sitting 4. They did get the interesting plan B roll. So I think what yellow's going to do here on sheet 2, they're going to throw a guard. They want to basically prevent red from taking the same shot. Over on sheet 1 in our A event final, Team Simia is up by 4 without hammer. They are throwing through, as you absolutely should. Any rock in play just helps your opponent, either freezing to it, hiding behind it, especially when your opponent needs a bunch of rocks. Don Baird's walking up. On sheet 2 in our C event final here in the 7th. Don is currently sitting 1 as the steel team, as yellow is going to deliver its yellow 7. Don's goal here is going to be basically to cut off the 4-foot line that red just attempted to run that red rock into the shot rock. Oh, over on sheet 1. That's a pretty good shot. Nice open from Susan here. She sets up 2 center guards. When you need points, you need guards. She delivered. Well swept. Don Baird's rock is away. Again, I think Don is just going to try to block. A pretty important stone, too. And a good one. Great shot. I mean, that port... I guess that port's... No, I don't think that port's there. Let's see what the opposing skip thinks. Peanut Gallery, do we think that port's there? To raise on the red for the red-yellow? Yeah. I don't think so either. Getting a lot of no's. I just thought both skips looking at the camera, too. So nice rock from Don here that basically prevented this. Now red is kind of worried that yellow's gonna do this with their remaining rock. But red does have hammer, so they'd basically be conceding if they block. And they would give the Team Baird 1 back here and a shot to do whatever they wanted. Yeah, this is a tough call for red. I mean, that loaded gun is right there with those 2 yellow guards. Yeah. I would almost... 7th end. 7th end. So they got 1 left. So one interesting thing you could do is you could throw a hit at those yellows. I don't like that though. That gun might just be... I can't tell from the camera angles that that gun might catch your high red there in the 12-foot. Not sure. Let's see. Red's gonna go for it. Red's gonna throw like a downweight tap. I like this. I like this because if you just catch the inside of that red rock that's sitting over the yellow shot rock on sheet 2, you could still kind of drive it into the 4-foot. And if you come all the way back to the nose, you could maybe drive the yellow off. I don't think you come all the way back to the nose, but I think you're very happy if you just take yourself up to be shot. On sheet 1, Bill Grzybalskis rocks away. I heard Hugh Gordon say no line. Oh, that looks a little hot. I think that's through. Yeah, it's going to be able to get rid of that. Tough shot. Over on sheet 2. I don't know if that hung out or if they just pitched that wide. Not an easy line to throw, but not really a rock that's going to necessarily come into play. So let's see what Don wants to do. John Wiedemann suggests, hey, are we going to guard this? He wants to protect his their single rock, and I think the 2 options would have been, well, there's 3 options, right? You could guard here, which they're going to do. You got to make sure this guard doesn't move that current high guard, though. More than anything, you can't move that guard. Sweep it by if that's a risk. Yellow walls. Oh no! Don just said he might hit the guard. Okay. Whew. Oh no! They're gonna make red shot for him, but they just made it for him. Oh, tough. So that changes the calculus a little bit. Red's going to have the ability. I'm trying to find a way to get to. I kind of like where they were first looking here. The promote's good. The other thing they could do is they could come in off this wide yellow. You hit it high enough, you should roll into the 4-foot. I think I like either shot. It's whatever they're more comfortable here in sheet 2. On sheet 1, they got a nice rub back to, I don't know, partial cover, but not much. Yellow 6. Might have been a bit wide. But they don't need to stick around on sheet 1 here. They just need to get rid of the red. They're going to find enough. They're going to get a wick. They get a wick. But that's fine. Hugh racing over to sweep. Every inch matters when you're trying to score 4. What does Hugh Gordon do here? All right with this call. He's calling for a sit. Over on sheet 2, we've got the red hammer. Again, yellow just accidentally tapped red up for 1. Red would love to get 2. It'd be huge. I feel like in modern curling, being down with hammer isn't quite the value that people used to believe it is. At least in league play. I'd much rather be up a couple. Alright, so this is light on sheet 2. So red's going to get they're going to get force of 1, but yellow will tip them in for. But we are going to enter our final end over there in our C event final on sheet 2. Red's going to be up 1. Yellow's going to be down 1 with hammer. Over on sheet 1, I think they were going for a nose freeze. It must have been wide because they are sitting side by side, which is kind of the worst outcome. It just makes the hitting path so wide for Ed here. Ed basically can deliver a rock within a, 3.5, 4 foot line. And he doesn't need to keep a shooter. He's up by 4. He just wants to get one of these reds off, if not both. If he hits the crotch here, it's might be academic. I think red's out of rocks. So that's Simia with the yellow 7. Again, if he hits crotch, I think this is the last rock of the game. It might be a weird jam off to the side, but I don't think red has enough rocks otherwise. Gonna get the 1. Is that academic? I think it is. Yeah. They might just play this out to see who takes the end, but I think Team Simia's won now. sure both skips are aware. I'm going to shift my attention to sheet 2 for the 8th and potentially final end. They haven't hung the score yet, but red did take 1 in the 7th, so it is yellow hammer down by 1 in the 8th end. Red through, as you probably should. They're hanging the score now. It's a pretty quick hang. We appreciate it here in the Peanut Gallery. Over in our A final, I think it's academic. I don't think there's a way for red to... Red doesn't have enough rocks to score 4. But they're going to play this out. There's not many rocks left, and that's fine. So Hugh Gordon with a rock away. He's probably going for a hit and roll under. On sheet 2, I'm curious what this call is, just because the skip walked upwards. I would have expected a hit or a freeze. Okay. Skip is just walking up to help sweep. That makes sense. That's fine. So what does Don want to do? Does Don want to hit this red rock and risk a jam? Red rock is a threat for a future promote there too, so Don's going to think about it. Think about how his team's been throwing. Think about how this line's been playing. And I think he's going to draw under instead. Kevin Polly. The lead for Team Baird. I don't know. I thought he was the second for Team Baird, but I don't see where the other yellow rock is. It's probably behind someone's foot. So that's not going to bury, but really good weight by Kevin there. Puts the onus on red to clear this out. Still don't see where the other yellow rock is. Must be along the backboard somewhere. Congratulations to Team Simia for winning our A event final and winning the 2023 Bonsqueal. We're going to clap them on here. Congratulations as well to Team Gordon for their A event final. Great job. Well, I'm going to keep the feed running here on sheet 2 if you want to jump over, but I'm going to go ahead and end the cast on sheet 1. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for a great weekend. I'll see you on sheet 2. Heard someone ask if the 6:30 league was canceled for tonight. They might actually have a game. It might be the last league game of the season. The other leagues have all finished up. But again, our sheet 2 action here. Very close game in our C event final. Team Baird's down by 1, but they have hammer. Congrats, Larry. Sorry. Looks like a nice hit here. Nice rock to drive the yellow off. The shooter's even going to stick around in the wings. Probably not going to be too important. But the hit is huge. What does Don Baird want to do here? Is he going to play the promote, or is he going to play the hit and roll under? His point tells me that he's going to go ahead. Congratulations, Ed. So Don is having Trevor throw the promote on their yellow rock in the 12-foot. Trying to gauge by Trevor's emotion whether or not he likes it. Looks pretty good to me. Looks like a nice angle here, too. They're going to put it right under the red cover. It's going to sit open, but that's a tight port. Fit about a rock and a quarter in there. What does Tully want to do? I think I'd attack. I mean, I'm up. I can't let that rock sit there. Tully's going to go for the double. Kind of like that, too. Mark Mooney would like me to announce that the men's room is full. Granted, our men's room is about, I don't know, 6 feet by 8 feet wide. It's pretty easy to be full. Big weight hit for this double from red. They're vice rock, they're red's 5. I saw her throw this weight before. It looks really nice. It's going to jam, but good weight. So again, what does Don do here? Does he draw under? Does he tap back? T-line weight, which means he's telling me he's tapping back. John Wiedemann, important rock here. Sheet 2. Well, anyone that hears my voice, we're only running on sheet 2, so I can stop saying that. I think I heard back 8 was the call. If that's the case, you want to hit this thin and keep them both. That looks pretty nice. Is it going to sit open or closed? Oh, good no sweep. That's a great shot. Nice shot by John Wiedemann there. Oh, what does red want to do? I mean, I would clear my own red off. You gotta have a look at this yellow rock later. Your alternative might be a skinny inside double. It's not that far apart. Nose run back. That's the call. The toughest part about this rock is you really, mentally, you want the run back so much that sometimes you don't get the clear instead. Sometimes the clear is the better outcome. What do we get here? We get the clear. That's fine. Peanut Gallery thought that was going to be a make. Didn't look like it on the camera to me, but I mean, it's a make in the sense that you left this rock open. So that's a pretty big make. Yellow's sitting 2. John Wiedemann being asked to throw an 8-foot top biter, at least partially overlapping shot rock right now. I don't think you want to be deep on this. Maybe you do. I'm not sure which way I would go pro side on this one. I heard an oh no really from John, but I think his weight's better than he thinks. It's just not going to be covering. The sweepers probably should have been on that. Yeah, they should have swept that. But it also sat down quickly. I mean, it's the last game of 5 days of games. We have had some scrapes in here, but it is April, so April temps outside. And there's always this situation where when the other sheet clears off, after like 10 or 15 minutes go by, the remaining sheet can kind of get frosty on you. So it's hard to play the conditions when you only get so many shots per end. Big shot for red here. I mean, they want to make sure they get rid of this yellow. They would love to stick around. They would really like to roll underneath into like the 4-foot and the button undercover. But even if they spill here, or even if they nose, that's decent. You know, if they spill, then yellow's only sitting 1. Yellow's probably going to draw under that center yellow. If red noses here, yellow's going to have to attack it. And if yellow was to flash on that attack, then red would pretty much just, you know, stack guards for the rest of the end. So big shot. Red 7's underway. Again, they're throwing the open port to Shot Rock here. They would love an inside roll. I heard the vice say it needs to come back a lot, which maybe are they on the high red? Is that how far it needs to come back? Oh, they're gonna get a great rub though. Oh, interesting outcome. Still yellow. Oh man. So what does Don do here? I mean, it's tough, right? Do you play for the tie? Do you attack the red and go for the inside roll? Man, the only problem of attacking that red is if it hangs out, you're pretty much going to get the line that doubles you off in the back. I like this call, though. They are going to play the hit and roll. Maybe like a downweight hit. Because that way, if they roll underneath into the forefoot... Not sure why someone's vacuuming right now. In a full house. With 2 rocks left. 3 rocks left. It's like putting the lights on at the end of a concert. Kind of hope they stop the vacuum soon. Seems like the wrong time for it. Maybe there's a huge spill. There we go. Vacuum off. So Don Baird is going to throw a down weight or standard weight hit. Any contact on this red is pretty great because then he's sitting 2 when you factor in the 8-foot biter that yellow also has. Don would love to spill over and, you know, bite a piece of the button entirely behind cover, because that would guarantee him the tie. I don't know what red would really do. Don just said narrow. Narrow's better than wide on this line, I think, because you got some options if you're narrow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not... That's acceptable. We're gonna file that as acceptable. So I think red's gonna draw down to that back yellow. I mean, well, they're gonna go for shot, and if they have to end up drawing down to the yellow, it's very acceptable. Interesting. I love that I spent some time in November watching some videos on how this audio board works with its 40 different dials. I feel like I have a pretty good sense of it. I also want to thank Mark Hoppy for last season. Mark is an audio guy by trade. He was able to run me through a lot of this. I think the crowd noise has been a lot lower this year for Spiels. Big shot here for red. Looks really good. Even if they in off themselves, it's fine. It's a great shot. Oh, really nice. Oh, you're leaving just... Oh, man, that's really good. That's going to... I think from the hack, you can't even see that rock. So what does Don want to do here? I mean, you could throw backline weight at that shot. You could try to... You probably wouldn't chip it all the way out, though. So I think Don's playing the right move here. And he says, I got to play for the tie. He's going to need a piece of the button. blocks away. We have, oh, everyone thinks that it's hot. Any kind of weird rub here? Any weird rub? Oh, it's a weird rub! And they got it. They got it. Oh, wow. Big cheers from the crowd as we're going to play a ninth end here in overtime. That was exciting. I hope you guys could hear some of the crowd there. Wow. That was fun. Did you guys like that? We get 25 people watching. Did you guys like that? That was fun. Wow. I'm watching the delay, so you guys just saw that, I think. Given the delay from my vantage point. Pretty exciting. All right, we are going to enter an extra and final end here in our C event final. Our last final here at the 2023 Bonsqueal. Since Rex is sitting next to me and her dad is in this game, she's not getting on the microphone. I just wanted to thank Rex for making our pig statues for the last several years. They're always themed for the annual event. This year being Porkade. So we've got some that are like Pac-Man, Super Mario. We've got some that are Pong. We got some that are Pac-Man Ghosts. And what are the other ones? Tetris. Very nice. Clay piggy banks. Very lovingly decorated, painted. Rex, how long did those take you? Yeah, to get to put the art on 16 of them. To put the art on all 16 of them, how long does that take? Cumulative hours. Yeah? So probably, I mean, if it took you a week, you're probably spending like 2 hours on those a night at least, maybe more.
Probably around 4, actually.
Okay, that's really nice. So basically, everyone's pig took you like an hour and a half at minimum of effort. That's thoughtful. Yeah, that's a cool trophy. It's one of the best trophies in curling. I have 2 of them at my house, and they're the best curling finals trophies that I have. So thank you. Rob Stager enjoyed that shot. Oh, a little bit of just a chip there from Red. So Team Baird with their yellow 2 rock. Red tried to hit. He only got a glancing blow. Thanks, Marianne. I agree. Nice guard put up by Team Baird there to protect their shot rock in the 8-foot. Tully's thinking about this. You know, what do we want to do here? We can't clear the guard. Well, the free guard zone's still at play. Do I freeze on top of it? But if I freeze on top of it and I'm short, I'm just gonna give more cover to my opponent. This is tough. I mean, I think the classic call is to corner freeze. But again, if you're light in any way, you basically place a center guard by accident. I don't hate drawing at the wings here, but yeah. It's really what you think the ice is doing and your confidence in that specific player and how they throw in that specific line. But both teams, like I said before, you know, the ice did clear off from the previous game. That changes it. Really well thrown. Not quite a corner freeze, but pretty close to what their ace shot was. But again, the risk that I mentioned before they let it go and decided on it is that they just left a center guard, which if you're, you know, the team that's trying to steal here, you're pretty happy with that red rock. Don is asking Trevor to draw around here. play with Trevor on Tuesday nights, and he always likes to say that he only can throw hits. I don't think that's the case. His draws are pretty solid when they need him to be. It's going to be a touch short, but great guard. Maybe that was the A-shot call. Tully's looking at this and thinking, well, now that I can clear, I'm going to clear, because I need a path to the 4-foot. Right now, it is pretty well blocked. Tough part about this clear is not getting greedy for the run back when all the rock's in motion. They were good at that, though, earlier when they were asking for clears. So I think they'll be good here. Getting set up here to see the red 3. Again, we are in extra ends, our C event final. We got about 26 people watching. Rex, Liz Brown says absolutely the best trophies. Rex says thank you. Oh, that's that's enough. You know, everyone's all smiles on that one because you couldn't throw that on purpose, or you just barely widen out the guards and then lose that one back. Don's going to put a center guard up if I know him. That's the classic call here. This was an earthquake today? Northern New York? Interesting. Yeah. So again, Don's looking for a center guard here from Trevor with their yellow 4 rock. So they're going to lose one of the corner guards, but they roll into an important center guard. The problem is that they expose one of their rocks. That has been very fun. I'm not sure who came up with all of the different pigs, but there's at least 100 of them. They do squeak, apparently. And someone very, very thoughtfully has been slow playing the addition of them throughout the club. I mean, they have been slowly appearing everywhere for the last, 3 months. It's been a lot of fun. Every time you come to the club, there's another, 3 pigs hidden somewhere. Red's going to try to clear this yellow out. They would love to roll under, but really, even if they just nose here, they're happy with it. Now that guard's been moved. Hearing some woes. I feel like they're going to get a piece of it based on their calls. Ooh, it's a tough flash. Good weight, though. If you threw that with less weight, it would be even more of a risk if you accidentally kissed the yellow underneath cover, but it was thrown with enough weight that you don't have to super worry about the kiss because you would at least drive it out to the other side of the house, outside of those guards. John Wiedemann here with the yellow 5. He is absolutely going to try to set this guard. The other call that Don might be making is a tap back. I feel like he's going to call the guard, though. It's a pretty good rock to protect, given the house. Is this a tap back? Looks like a tap back. Might be a plan B tap back, but it's a great plan B tap back. Oh, great shot. Great outcome. I'm not sure if that was a call, but fantastic. So Red's got to go for the double here, I think. I mean, they briefly just motioned like they would just want to hit and roll under, but I don't know what that gets you in a tie game. I think you got to go for this double slash. Vice throws a lot of weight. She's been really consistent with that. Let's see. This looks pretty good. Ooh, close. So, again, let's see what Don's going to do here. I mean, Don could elect to get rid of that red rock out on the 12-foot, but I don't see why I would. I think I would just cover. I think I would just throw another yellow guard up to block that right 4-foot line. I think that's what Don decided to call. So, John Wiedemann here. I might have attributed 3 rocks to John in this end by accident, but John's just looking to try to get kind of on top of this red. I don't want to guard your yellow here, too. That's rock's going to at least cover the yellow. That's fine. I like that. So red's decision is, do we start drawing under now, or do we try to play a promote on our out on this one here that he's tapping? Or a clear. I don't think a clear. I mean, clear's okay. But you're running out of rocks just to clear. Both are valid. I could see cases for both. So what do they like me to do here? I looked away for a second. I think they are playing the clear. Or they're playing a yellow, red, yellow. Is that there? They're going to be happy with the clear at this point. Oh. Kind of a worse position for red there. The outcome of that. Tough. The tough part is they just lost their ability to raise that up later. Not sure how by unplugging one of these I got less audio. Is that any better? You guys can't tell, it's just me. Baird walking back to throw the yellow 7 rock. Almost certain this is a guard call. Without even looking at what they were discussing. I have to. For safety, I'm going to take the headset off again. While I was researching how these audio boards worked, I saw one mention that you should always take your headset off when plugging a microphone cable in, just in case it feedbacks. And I was like, yeah, I'll file that away for later. Sure enough, when I came in a couple of days later to start dialing in all the levels on this thing, I remembered to take it off my head, and I got such an audio spike that everybody else in the warm room turned around and asked what the heck that was, and I'm thinking, I probably would have deafened myself if I had those earphones on at the time. It's good I read that particular article at the time and paid heed to it. That's a plus. So Yellow was throwing the guard. Looks like Don's guard was a little wide. It doesn't change much for Red, though. Red's really kind of 8-balled here. I think Red has to start throwing from the opposite side and use both rocks. Maybe the first rock to learn it, second rock to nail it. I think playing on this side is not going to benefit them anymore. We're looking at this side, but you don't have to win by more than one here. I just don't think you're going to get a lot of value out of attacking this side. I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody discuss coming around the other way. I mean, that yellow guard is on the 4-foot line. But again, you only need a piece of the button. I feel like it's there. They're thinking about it. Tully just looked at it. Immediately gave up on it. It just might be the way that this ice is curling, that it's just not there. Man, that sure looks there from here, though. They're gonna go for the clear here. I just don't think the outcome of this is going to be... I don't think they're going to clear both the red and the yellow out of this 12-foot and the shooter. I might have to ask for forgiveness after this. We'll see, but... Also, it's always easier to be right in the warm room because, you know, even if they call the perfect strategy and there's one one or two incorrect sweeps, then, you know, you still get to be right. But this is a very hard shot. I mean, this is... It's almost impossible. I mean, I don't see how red makes this. The only way to get a double is if you cross over back over the center line to face of the high red in the 12-foot there to develop an angle where you could, you know, run red, yellow, yellow. But I just don't think this is here. I think the likely result of this shot is the shooter rolls out and one of the two rocks in the 12-foot roll out. Or the shooter just wrecks or flashes. I don't see how the shot rock is impacted by this shot, though. Which doesn't have to be the goal, but I don't think it's going to give him any kind of meaningful hole that Don won't just plug. Let's see what he's got here. Red 7's underway. Waits there. It's just gonna... Interesting. Okay. I mean, I don't know if that was the plan, but it does set up an interesting little in-off on the side that wasn't there earlier. What do you do if you're yellow here? Which side do you protect? They've already decided. They're going to protect the side that everyone's thrown down, which is the good bet. I'm not sure they needed to throw this guard, though. Because how does red, like, let's say red even, let's say this rock didn't count, right? And let's say red draws down and bumps that yellow out. They're not going to be shot. Because of the new yellow that it bumped in. I don't know if that guard did much. But again, I'm not playing in a final right now. I'm on the microphone. So here we go. All the marbles. Hammer. 9th end. C event final. 2023 Plainfield Curling Club Bonsqueal. I think they're going to have to come the side they haven't been drawn. Unless that side's just so not there. I mean, they really aren't even thinking about it. It just must not be there. Maybe it's just how that particular path is curling. I don't see anything other than the drawdown here. Unless you're going to raise like a yellow guard into that center red somehow. And that's just as hard, if not harder. I think you have to just draw this. I mean, the in-off just takes one yellow off. You're not going to have enough force to take them both. John DeYoung, do you think this shot's there? John. Yeah, pull the peanut gallery with the mic down and see what everyone thinks. Yeah. We're all pretty sure that it's probably just the draw. Not that the draw is easy. But we don't see much here. I think they're going yellow. I think they're going to promote this. I don't know. I think this is the shot they're calling. I think they're throwing the center line port onto the high 12-foot red and running that particular red into the yellow rock on the left side, not shot rock, and then hoping they get an inside roll. I mean, it's pretty hard either way. See what they do. We got contact. Oh, it's close. Oh, that's what they were going for. All right. Hey, hats off. You know what? They made that way closer than any of us would have imagined. That was a great shot. Kudos. Measure is the call. All right. So I'm going to hear some of the clapping as they come off the ice. That was a really good game. That was terrific all around. There we go. So again, I'm going to say on behalf of the Plainfield Curling Club, all of our membership, all of our volunteers, all of our ice makers, everyone involved with the volunteer sport of curling. This has been a particularly great season. Our ice has been great. Members have been great. Tournaments have been great. We didn't even really have that much snow to plow in the parking lots. So not many leagues lost to foul weather. But thanks, everyone. Congratulations to Team Baird on their C-event victory, and that'll close out our Bonsqueal for this year. On the mic, talking to myself for part of this final, I've been John Gephardt. I look forward to seeing you again here at the club. Thanks for all the kind notes and messages. Here's to a great season of curling, and here's to some summer curling. Take care, everybody.